sort of like in conclusion for JDP TV episode 5, I wanted to chat to you. Obviously, we spoke briefly on your way in this evening to the studios about. Obviously, I wanted to get a dev's perspective on the Brisbane startup scene.
So it's pretty interesting. I mean, everyone in this, it's pretty small. Brisbane's
Don't hold back.
No, I won't. Brisbane's small, so the people that you see at the startup meetups are generally the same sort of people. And if you don't know them personally, then you've obviously seen them around a bit before.
Yeah.
But everyone's super nice, which is great. The problem is that most of the startup events are startup events, and so you keep seeing the same people, which kind of sucks because it's sort of, as a startup, you want to see new people.
Yeah. Okay.
And definitely for us, because we're business to business, startups can't really justify spending $50 a month on their customers, which they're trying to accumulate at the moment.
Which is like one of your packages for your services. Yeah. Okay.
So I think what's been really cool is certainly like Bibs Brisbane, for example. You get a whole heap of different people there, and those sort of events where you get people from all over the place, and you get people who are in sort of like agencies and people who are in startups, and then people who are just interested in the digital scene are really cool, because those sort of events are the ones where people get talking. And I mean, I think like Startup Weekend, the guys met at Bibs Brisbane. So I think if Brisbane had more events like that, I think that would be really cool.
Okay.
Because the startup events are awesome, and River City Labs, who host a lot of them, are awesome. But it would be cool to just be able to branch out and meet new people, which is...
So you're saying, so what the digital scene in Brisbane needs for, for startups, which is like the future of, and everyone in economy are all interested in the future. So a smart thing to do would be to try to get the bigger corporates and people outside looking in, with a bit of money that, are interested in digital, or probably maybe even people that don't know that they're interested in digital, but, come along and check it out and see what's going on,
Yeah.
So you say, okay, so you're talking about what Brisbane startup scene needs is more events. Again, shameless plug to Bibs B&E, but Bibs Brisbane, is the fact that we need something more like that, what brings people from different angles and different verticals of the industry.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean,
or
probably
the Brisbane economy town.
Yeah, so I mean, earlier this year we went down to CeBIT, which is one of the biggest IT conferences in Australia. Or the biggest, I'm not sure.
Sydney, yeah.
And so we went down there, and it was amazing because we had a startup. We were in this like startup alley area, and so there's a whole heap of startups around us, which is great culture, because it's really good to talk to other people and find out what their problems are. Like, you find you have the same problems, you find you have different problems, which is really good, because it means that you're doing something different, and if you can figure out if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But then you've got also all these other industry people walking through, because it's not just startups, it's a big IT conference. So you have people from Salesforce talking and all that sort of stuff, and so you've got completely other subset of people who are visiting it, which is great, because you get a
great mix. Yeah.
It is, it's a mix, and I think that's what you need, because you need other people in other startups who can empathize with you really well.
Yeah.
And then you need other people to say, hey,
like fresh blood.
Yeah, I would pay for this,
or
I would not pay for this, and this is why.
Exactly.
Which is really important when you're trying to get money.
Awesome. All right. So, what the Brisbane startup scene needs from David Lumley, you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. We need meetups with a whole different group of people. Would you say not just, does it just have to be in IT, or can it be people who are in the banking industry, or education, or would you say just keep it IT, but keep it people from large corporates, mid-sized agencies?
Yeah, I think it really depends. I mean, I would think it would keep it IT focused, especially for startups that are in the IT space. Because you get startups that are in other areas. I mean, it's not just IT startups.
No. Because I mean, this is JDP's a digital recruitment company, and I mean that's obviously that's our little bubble. Speaking of bubbles earlier,
yeah.
So within that bubble, having people from different areas of that bubble.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man. That's really cool. I've actually never heard that. I mean, I've heard lots and lots of different people, having a bit of a shot at the Brisbane startup scene, but. And it's, we all do, but it's good to hear what seems like a pretty practical solution.
I think it's hard because, as I said, like, everyone is so nice, and so there's nothing wrong with the startup scene. It just needs to, I think, maybe like broaden its horizons, so to speak. and sort of try and get people who want
time and more population and
yeah, it'll come with time, I think. I mean,
yeah.
it's not going to be Sydney overnight, and it's not going to be Melbourne overnight, and they're not going to be San Francisco overnight. But I think
like
the culture we have at the moment is
yeah.
I think it needs to stay individual from everywhere else, because otherwise you would just go there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Awesome, man. Well, mate, thanks for coming on the show, dude.
Right. It's been
I appreciate you coming out. I know you're all the way in Tech Park.
Yeah, all the way, and then from Tech Park all the way up to Chermside, which is interesting.
Chermside, dude. Appreciate you coming on the show, man, and enjoy your JDP mug. And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Cool. Thanks to David Lumley. Cheers.